Hey everyone, and welcome to another songwriting video. Today it's all about beat making, so let's jump right in. Okay, as a beat is very repetitive, the first thing we want to do is create a 4-bar loop. So let's just draw it here. 4 bars. And now we'll never run out of space. Next, I want to start with the most important thing, the drum beat. So let's open the band browser with B and try selecting a great drum sound first. And I think the hip-hop acoustic would be nice for our beat. It's a perfect balance of electronic and acoustic sounds. And yeah, let's just try out the first beat here. Let's see how this sounds. Yeah, I think this is already great, but a bit too fast. So let's adjust the tempo. Let's see something about 92. Yeah, I think this sounds more like a beat already. And the only thing I want to do is add some swing timing here. Yeah, not the 8th swing, but the 16th swing. So yeah, this has a nice groove. And yeah, let's just make the swing a bit softer, so it's a bit more flowing here. And I think, yeah, our drum is already good. Let's add a shaker to have a bit more of a groove. Let's see, just duplicate this track, add a shaker here, shaker, perhaps 16th. And let's crank up the volume to get the shaker become a real part of the beat, not only something with grooves in the background, but something which is real in the beat. And now we can also hear the swing timing a bit better. Yeah, I think this is already great for our drum beat. So next I want to add a chord progression. I think I start with 1 here. And as my beat should be a bit more mellow and melancholic, I'll just switch the key to minor. Let's see, minor. And here's already C minor selected. And I think C minor is great right now. But if you have a singer later, which needs like a particular vocal range to perform best, you can always change the key with one click on one of the other keys here. So let's leave it like this. And I think, for chord progression, let's just try another minor chord here, like the 5. Yeah, I like this here because it's really mellow. And to keep things simple, let's just go stepwise up again with 6 and 7 and 1. So this, I think this is a nice chord progression, a simple one, but I think it will do for now. So let's have a listen to it with the beat. And back to 1 again. Yeah. I think this is a chord progression you can listen to for quite a while, so yeah, let's leave it like this. Next, let's add some instruments. Let's start with the bass, and I think I'll add an electric bass, and here the thumb bass would be nice because it has a big bottom and not so many overtones, and I think it will be great for our beat. So let's see. Yeah, I think the funk pattern could be great together with our drums. Let's listen to it. Yeah, I think they are going nicely together. And if you don't know which of those beats are best for your drums, you can just click them through and see what fits the best or what you like the best. So don't worry if you don't know it from the first click. So next, let's add some harmony instruments. And I think I'll add an acoustic guitar. Let's see. Yeah, it has a nice intimate sound. Yeah, why not? Let's try also a funk one. Yeah, this has a nice groove and a nice vibe. I like it. Let's add some more instruments and perhaps an electric piano. Oh, there's also a funk sound, a funk patch. Let's turn it a bit down. And let's add even another instrument, perhaps some strings to have like a nice vibe in the back. Let's see what we can find. Power strings. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, I think this is great for now. So the next step would be to add a melody, some kind of a little hook. And if we turn on the guides here, we can see that our chord progression is a great progression for a nice hook, because here we have the 1 and the 3rd scale degree, here 2, here we have the 2nd and the 7th, and here also. So we can do something nicely and repetitive, and it will sound different because we have different chords under it. I can show you an example. Let's see, just make a 1 here. Let's make it longer, and perhaps here the 2 and here the 1 again, and here the 2 again. And you will see that although those are the same scale degrees, they will sound different with different chords. So let's listen to it. And with just those 2 scale degrees, we already have something nice. So I think I keep those, but I want to make sure to connect them, to have some breaks. And let's see, so start by making this shorter to end exactly before the snare drum. And I think this is great. And now let's add like a pickup to the next chord or to the next melody tone, just to connect it a bit. Let's see, something like da 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 da. Let's see, we need an 8th note here, and da 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 da. Yeah, let's see what this sounds like. Da, da, da. Yeah, if we could totally repeat it here. But I think let's add some rhythmic variation here. Da, 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 ba, ba, and go also like to the 7th scale degree here. Let's see, we think we need something like a dotted note here, the 7. Perhaps like this. Let's see. And perhaps even a pickup here. Let's see. Da-dum. Oops. And an 8th note, 8th rest, and let's see. Perhaps like this. Yeah. So let's just copy all this and see how this sounds. Yeah, and I think we can just make like a little climax here. And as we see the guides here, we can see that the next note is also in the chord, the 4th scale degree, and let's see, and let's make a little scale here. Let's see how this sounds. Yeah, and perhaps make this shorter, that we have something like da da da. Just a bit of a variation here. So let's turn on the loop again and listen to the whole thing and see what we have. Here. No, this is too long. I think it was perfect before. Okay, so the next, to make an 8-bar phrase out of it, we copy the whole thing and paste it again. And now we have 8 bars, and I think perhaps we can keep the climax at the end with the highest note, but here take just a lower note, perhaps something like this. Go down, go up. Yeah, let's see how this sounds. Make a 8th bar loop and press play. And now the climax. Yeah, I think this is great. So the next thing we need to do is like find a instrument for our melody, and perhaps something like a synth. Yeah, let's try out the glass guitar. Perhaps a legato version. Let's see. Perhaps another octave. Yeah, I think this is great. So now we have all together, we can do a quick mixing here. Let's open the mixer view and let's see. So when mixing a beat, I think the most important thing is the drums, then the bass, then the melody. Melody shouldn't be too much in the front of the mix because you want to have like nice fat drums, and if the melody is too loud, those drums will get tucked to the background. So I want to have like a nice fat drums, the melody so that you can clearly hear it, but not louder. And then the harmony will just go in the background, so it won't take too much space and you will hear all the other important things more clearly. So let's see. I think I want to have the drums a bit louder. Yeah, perhaps add some compression too. More. Yeah, this will glue it nicely together. And I think this is fine. Perhaps give the melody a bit more. And yeah. I can hear everything clearly now, and nothing is too much in the front or takes the space which another more important instrument needs. So yeah, I think this is great right now. So next I want to make a real song out of it, and I want to have like more parts of this. The easiest way is to add like a section marker here with create section, and let's call it chorus for now. Let's take away the loop, and I delete those bars. Delete. So to make sure that our section is just the same length as our music. And now I can press C to copy it and click here and paste it 2 times. And now we have already 24 bars. Now we could totally change this into a verse. And yeah, for the verse, perhaps I want to sing some vocals. So let's take out the melody. And then we don't need the pickups here, and let's kill it here too. So yeah, we have one part with a melody and one without. So let's see. And here's part for the vocals. I can't rap, but you can totally start to rap here. Yo. And then when you're done with your verse, the melody comes in again. I think we can make this moment of the melody and or let's call it chorus a bit better by just changing the instruments here and add something. So let's change it. Let's create a change band marker. And then always make sure you're on the right band. Here's band 2, here's band 2. And I just add some more harmony instruments. We add like another pad, perhaps a synth pad, and yeah, let's try out this synth Vox here. Yeah. It just adds another nice layer which is a bit higher. I think it's a bit loud right now, but I think it's totally what we need. Yeah, just add something. And for the second one, let's just add like a rock guitar. Oh, this is very much too loud. But I think in the background, let's turn it down even more. It's a great addition, and it adds overtones and makes everything wider and brighter and fatter. So let's see how this is. I think this is okay. Let's check out our moment we wanted to create from verse to chorus and see if it opens up like we wanted. Yeah. And now let's delete this dummy section, copy another verse to it, and see how nicely it goes from the chorus into the verse. Let's see. Yeah, and it falls down, so it makes space for the rapper, for the vocalist. Again, great. Yeah, and I can keep doing this. I can just copy in another chorus. I could copy in another verse and a chorus and a verse, and perhaps make some more variations, and then the song would be pretty much finished. Yeah, let's have a listen again to the first couple of bars to see what we have done here. Yeah, now for a moment. And back to the verse again. And yeah, this can go on and on and on, and if you have nice vocals and nice lyrics, this would be pretty much enough to form the structure of a good song. So to sum up what we did today, we first added some nice drums. We used a hip-hop acoustic patch because this was like the perfect patch for our vibe here. It has some electronic, it has some acoustic elements in it, like old school hip-hop beats. And next we added like a mellow chord progression in C minor and a really simple one which loops a lot. We added some instrumentation like an electric bass, some simple funk patterns on an acoustic guitar and an electric piano, and some pads to have a nice, more mellow vibe in the background. Then we created a simple melody which loops a lot, and we started with a very small snippet and repeated it and made some variations, which is always a great way to quickly write good and great and memorable melodies. And at the end, we quickly created this whole song out of our 8 bars that we had at the time by repeating the section and creating a verse where we just left out the melody to have even more space for the vocals here. And then we made another chorus where we just added like a little bit of more instruments to have it open up a bit and have it fatter and a bit wider and make it more than a chorus. And this gave us enough momentum to repeat this over and over, because there's always something which goes back and leaves space for vocals, and there's always something which comes again and makes it a bit louder, a bit fatter. And this is often enough to form a whole song structure. I will share a link to the song beneath the video so you can open it in your hook pad and play around with it. Perhaps even add more instrumentation, or perhaps export it and record some awesome vocals to it. You can just do with it what you want. And if you have something to share too, you can share your link in the comment section and I will be happy to listen to it and give you some feedback. Until then, see you soon. Bye!